Hi, my name is Teresa and I am the founder and owner of T3 Fit, and I am here to talk to you about training with a mace. You'll see that I have a bunch of them behind me, and I'm going to talk about them and talk about why I find them such a valuable tool when using them to work out with. And I will also talk a little bit about their history. So to hear more, go ahead and click on the button below. Come follow me on the journey and have some fun and learn how to train with a mace along the way. I have been fused since about 1982 or 83. My curves were 45 and 50 fused, and I have Harrington rods fused to my spine. About when I was, long story short, just a couple of years ago, I started getting into mace training, and I've been a trainer for 10 years. And the thing that I like about the mace and Indian clubs, which are these here over on the right side, it's like a dance. And if you come from a dance background, it's really nice to integrate these into your workout while including how to get stronger, your grip, endurance, power. There's a whole lot of components that come with mace training and with clubs. So I was introduced to them a few years ago, and it's just been a great journey ever since. Sometimes people will be interested in starting out with a mace, but it can be intimidating, especially when you're limited with your mobility, as being fused is. What I always suggest is starting out with a broom, and that's why I have this here. I will be demonstrating some of the moves with the mace, but if you have a broom, this is a great place to start to feel comfortable and safe and learn the small components of how to work with a mace and or clubs. So the first mace that I'm going to talk about is this Adex or Adex mace. It's ADEX, and this one is great because you can adjust the weight. They also have it in a club version, which is here, and they also have an arc version of that, which is a little taller than the club. So an arc is about this tall, and again, you can adjust the weight on all of these. So with this one, it unscrews, and it's got a really long neck of a screw here. And then there's plates, and the plates come in a variety of 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, and they go heavier. So if you are interested in working with a mace and you want to go on a little higher price point, this is a really good place to start once you've gotten past the broom. So you can see here, I'm not going to do it all the way because it's just, you can see the idea. It's a really long neck. And the plates are individual with little kind of nubs on them so that they lock into each other. So this is one, and I highly recommend it if you are willing to go a little bit more on a price point, because they can be kind of expensive, but they are sturdy and they will last you a lifetime. So that's the Adex. And the next one, this mace is 15 pounds, and this you can get on Amazon. There are multiple of companies that sell this one as well. I like to use this one sometimes. It is quite heavy, even though if you say 15 pounds, might not seem like a lot, because the weight is at the bottom, down here at the ball, instead of even distribution from the neck all the way down. It does feel a lot heavier, especially when you're swinging the mace. The next one that I have is, this is about 10 to 13 pounds. It says 6 kilos on it, but this one I use a lot. I've been using this one for years, and it's the most beneficial for my body and what I want to do with it. The thing with these maces And to give you a little bit of a history of them, they started in India and they're called gadas. It's G-A-D-A. And people still use them today. So this is kind of the more modernized version of the gada. But in India, they still use the gadas. And you can make your own if you have the space and the time. I don't, so I stick with these maces. But they also come, I believe the lightest one you can get is 5 pounds, and then it goes up to 7, maybe 8, 10, and so on and so forth. But this one is about 10 to 13 pounds. Like I said, it says on the top, it says 6 kilos. So that's about 13. And I will demonstrate a little bit about this one. So before I get into that though, I'm going to talk to you also about this club here. So this is an Adex. And again, with the Adex, you can unscrew it. And these plates here are 5 pounds each. There's 3 of them on here. With the clubs, the thing that's really nice about them is that the weight is compact. So if you're going to do a certain movement, a 360, or you're going to swing and then go into a squat, you have to counteract your weight when you swing the club forward, or even with a mace. But that's one of the things that's with the club, the weight is a lot more compact as opposed to with the mace where the neck is much longer. And then these are arcs. Arcs tend to have a little bit of a longer neck, but the weight is still, these are hollow and these are also about 10 pounds each. The weight is mostly in the bottom, so it makes it a little more challenging when you're picking it up. And if you're just going to swing it, bringing your elbow to 90 degrees. These are really fun as well. I like using them a lot. I like to dance with them, if you will. And then lastly, I have these smaller clubs. These are also 10 pounds each. And these are great because the weight is just it's a solid piece of metal. So it makes it easier to move with them if you're going to do, for instance, an iron cross, bringing your arm out to the side. It makes it kind of easier because you can choke up on the weight. And obviously with the clubs versus the mace, the neck is a lot shorter. And with these clubs in particular, you have a pommel at the bottom to stop your hand so you know where the end range is with these. Like I said, these are 10 pounds each, and they're fun too. They're fun too. But I'm going to demonstrate a little bit with this mace, the 6 kilos. So when you pick it up, the way I learned it is you're going to stand in front of it and you're going to internally rotate on this shoulder. And this is a really great way to think about if you're fused and you're standing, you're internally rotating on the shoulder, but you always want to think about your posture. And even being fused, we stand tall, but it doesn't mean that our shoulders don't internally rotate. So with this is a really great way to integrate external rotation and to think more about your posture while using a piece of equipment, a modality that has been around for centuries, but it's just becoming more popular in this country, maybe within the past 10 years or so. So you're gonna, I put my hand, so the palm of my hand is facing on the outside of my body, so my shoulder is internally rotating. And I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna bring it to my hip, and I'm gonna hinge my hips back. So as you do that, the palm of your hand faces towards the medial part of your body, so you're coming inward. And as that's happening, that shoulder is externally rotating. So it's pushing down and back towards your pelvis. And then you're gonna hinge your hips back, and then you pick up the mace. And slide your hands down. Slide your hand up towards the ball, placing the mace down, hinging the hips back, and bringing it in front of you. So that's just a very basic and beginning point on how to start to use a mace, how to pick it up, how to integrate your body using the mace. And when you are going from the internal rotation to the external rotation and pushing your hips back, you want to take a breath in and you want to make sure that you're getting really tight. So you want to pull your pelvis up and your rib cage down. And you're going to take a breath in, bring your hand towards the ball, exhale, and glide your hand down, glide your hand up, place the ball down on the floor, and then internally rotate, and then you go ahead and you switch sides. So that's a little bit of the mace history and how to start using a mace. You can also, as I said, start using a broom to try that and see how it feels. And using a broom, don't be scared. It's a safe piece of equipment that you do have at home, and it's not just for sweeping the floor. So I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of the history of the mace and the clubs. And if you have any questions, just post them below. Give us a follow and come join us on the journey of being fused, scoliosis, and working with a mace and clubs.